Princess Anne continues to defy every expectation of age, fame, and royalty. While others slow down, she rides harder, works longer, and dresses sharper. From horseback patrols at Trooping the Color to effortlessly re-wearing 40-year-old designer coats like it's no big deal, Anne lives life on her own terms. But behind the medals, the tailored tweed, and the icy wit, who really is Princess Anne? Today, we're diving deep into the private world of the Princess Royale. From her net worth, daily routines, country estate, and even the dramatic fall that almost changed everything. As of now, her net worth is estimated to be $10 million, a modest figure by royal standards, but one that speaks volumes about her practicality and restraint. As the only daughter of Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip, Anne may have inherited a few select personal items from her late mother. However, by royal custom, most of Queen Elizabeth's assets, particularly the royal lands and estates, were passed directly to King Charles III to avoid the heavy inheritance tax imposed on private citizens. However, Anne is said to have received a number of valuable heirlooms, including the Queen's iconic triple pearl necklace, rumored to be worth more than £1 million, and several pieces from the royal jewelry collection, such as the aquamarine pine blossom tiara. In total, her jewelry collection alone is estimated to be worth around $7 million, adding significantly to her personal fortune. As a working member of the royal family, Princess Anne carries out hundreds of official engagements each year. In 2024, she undertook more than 450 official engagements, the most of any royal. She has received financial support from the Duchy of Lancaster and the Sovereign Grant, two funds used to cover the expenses of full-time working members of the royal family. Although the details of the support are not made public, this is the main source of income that has helped her maintain her royal duties for decades. Anne, however, has managed her resources with typical frugality. Her career as an equestrian, which included competing in the 1976 Montreal Olympics and winning multiple medals at the European Championships, also brought her recognition, endorsements, and awards over the years. While these activities were more about passion than profit, they helped shape her public image and contributed modestly to her overall financial footprint. Princess Anne's born on August 15, 1950 at Clarence House in London. Princess Anne Elizabeth Alice Louise was the second child and only daughter of then Princess Elizabeth and Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh. At the time of her birth, her mother was still a young royal, not yet queen, but destiny had plans. Anne's early life was, in many ways, unique. While she was raised within the palaces and protocols of British royalty, her parents, particularly Prince Philip, emphasized resilience, education, and public service. From an early age, Anne was noted for her strong will and independent spirit, qualities that would come to define her entire life. Educated privately at first, she later attended Benenden School in Kent, where she thrived academically and developed a lifelong love of horses. By the age of 18, Anne had begun taking on official royal duties, appearing at public engagements in the UK and abroad. Her first solo public appearance was in Shropshire in 1969, and it marked the beginning of a lifetime of service. That same year, she accompanied her parents on a state visit to Austria, laying the foundation for what would become a relentless schedule of international diplomacy and domestic charity work. But while most royals are known for shaking hands and cutting ribbons, Anne took things further. She became the first member of the British royal family to compete in the Olympic Games, representing Great Britain in the 1976 Montreal Olympics, as part of the equestrian three-day event team. Long before her brother Charles became associated with polo, Anne had already made history in the world of competitive horse riding, winning the European Eventing Championships in 1971, and later serving as president of the International Equestrian Federation, FEI, from 1986 to 1994. By 1987, Queen Elizabeth II granted Anne the title of Princess Royal, a distinction traditionally given to the monarch's eldest daughter. By then, Anne had already established herself as a formidable royal presence, one who preferred grit to glamour and duty over celebrity. Throughout the 1990s and into the 21st century, Princess Anne's royal calendar was consistently packed. She's known for undertaking more public engagements each year than any other member of the royal family, often without fanfare. In recent years, Princess Anne has also stepped into a more prominent public role as her brother, King Charles III, assumed the throne. She was a visible and dignified presence during the funeral proceedings for Queen Elizabeth II in 2022, walking behind the coffin during the royal procession, a poignant and historical moment that symbolized both loyalty and continuity. Most recently, in early 2025, Anne carried out a significant overseas trip to South Africa in her role as president of the Commonwealth War Graves Commission. Despite a serious head injury in June 2024, which caused temporary memory loss and required hospitalization, she resumed her duties within weeks, proving once again that her sense of service knows no pause button. As she said not long after returning to work, "Every day is a bonus, and I intend to make it count." In the landscape of the modern monarchy, she may not always be in the spotlight, but she's undoubtedly its steadiest foundation. Gatcombe Park Farm in Gloucestershire. Despite being the only daughter of Queen Elizabeth II, Princess Anne has never pursued a lavish lifestyle. Instead, she has chosen to live a simple but dignified life at Gatcombe Park, a 750-acre estate in Gloucestershire, about a 2-hour drive from London. It was a wedding gift from the Queen in 1976, when Anne married Captain Mark Phillips. Since then, Gatcombe Park has become her true home, not just a place to rest, but also the headquarters of a professionally run farm. Anne once frankly shared, "It can't just be beautiful, it has to be functional, otherwise I wouldn't keep it." She runs the farm like a business, raising cattle, managing the land, and especially developing the equestrian sport she has been passionate about since childhood. Gatcombe is also home to the famous equestrian event, the Festival of British Eventing, co-hosted by Anne and her family. Every summer, tens of thousands of people flock to Gatcombe to watch the international equestrian competitions. This is not only a sporting event, but also an important source of income and public image for the princess. Here, Anne lives close to her children and grandchildren. Her daughter, Zara Tyndall, a former Olympic athlete, and her husband, Mike Tyndall, and their children currently live in a private house on the estate. Peter Phillips, Anne's eldest son, has also lived here for many years. For her, Gatcombe is not just home, but also a separate world where work, passion, and family are closely linked. While most royals live in grand palaces, Princess Anne chooses to live like a real farmer, managing the farm, looking after horses, and participating in a busy royal schedule every day. Perhaps it was this humility and devotion that helped her become one of the most respected members of the British royal family. Cars. While she may not own a fleet of flashy supercars like many other royals, the cars associated with the princess's life speak volumes. The most famous car associated with Princess Anne is the 1971 Reliant Scimitar GTE, a sports wagon designed with a multi-purpose orientation, especially suitable for her active lifestyle. The car bears the license plate 1420H, a number that is not random, but symbolizes her position in the Army. Honorary Colonel of the 1420 Royal Armoured Regiment. With a powerful V6 engine, the Scimitar could reach a top speed of 120 mph, nearly 200 km/h, making it not only fun to drive, but also versatile enough for long trips. The Scimitar has become a part of British motoring history, and is now on display at the Beaulieu National Motor Museum as a symbol of the era when Princess Anne defined independence and strength in her own unique style. However, the princess did not always drive herself. For important royal events or official ceremonies, she was often chauffeured in a Bentley, the luxury car typical of the British aristocracy. The Bentley is not only impressive for its elegant exterior, but also for its luxurious, handcrafted interior with fine leather, high-end audio systems, and spacious rear seats, perfectly suited to the formality and majesty that her position demands. Community activities. She doesn't draw attention with her glamorous dresses or flashy statements, but the amount of volunteer work she does, more than 11,000 official events, is something that everyone admires. Since 1970, Anne has been the honorary president of Save the Children UK, one of the world's largest humanitarian organizations. She has personally traveled to many crisis areas in Asia, Africa, and Europe to survey and encourage staff and local people. In her 50th anniversary with the organization, Anne emphasized that she sees it as a lifelong mission and that she is proud to have contributed to helping millions of children around the world have the opportunity to study and receive health care. Not stopping at Save the Children, Princess Anne also holds the role of patron and leader of more than 300 other organizations, from sports, health, education, to the military and the arts. Examples include Carers Trust, where she launched the Princess Royal Respite Fund to support over 30,000 unpaid carers in the UK. Mercy Ships, an organization that provides mobile medical services in developing countries, of which she has been a patron since 2022. Riding for the Disabled Association, where she supports therapeutic horse riding programs for disabled children. Princess Anne is not afraid to travel to remote and harsh places. During her 2024 visit to Sri Lanka, she spent a lot of time in poor rural areas meeting children and women who are being supported through Save the Children programs. Most recently, in January 2025, she represented the British royal family at the inauguration of a memorial in South Africa for World War I soldiers, and joined in expanding education programs for disabled students in Oxfordshire. From Kenya and Uganda to Bosnia and Sierra Leone, Anne has always shown strong empathy and a desire to promote sustainable development. What is special is that despite her demanding and physically demanding work, she still maintains a busy work schedule without complaining, a rare spirit in the royal family. On her 75th birthday, instead of holding a lavish gala, Princess Anne held a meeting with more than 200 representatives from more than 100 charities at Buckingham Palace. In her short speech, she said, "I don't consider myself special. Special people are you, those who have devoted your lives to serving others." That simple message touched everyone. That is Anne's style. No frills, no need to show off, but full of weight and depth. As of now, Princess Anne remains one of the most hard-working and respected members of the British royal family. She epitomizes not only a strong, independent woman, but also a symbol of enduring kindness, someone who puts duty before title. In a world of change, her steady, down-to-earth presence is a gentle reminder that service need not be loud to make a profound difference. Personal life. As a strong, quiet woman, Anne chose to live a simple and independent life, even in love, marriage. On November 14, 1973, Princess Anne married Mark Phillips, a cavalry officer and Olympic gold medalist equestrian. The two met in the equestrian world. Their shared passion connected them. The wedding took place solemnly at Westminster Abbey, broadcast live to more than 500 million people worldwide. It seemed like the Princess Knight love story would last forever, but the truth was not as easy as a fairy tale. Their marriage lasted 19 years, and they had 2 children together, Peter Phillips born in 1977, and Zara Phillips, now Zara Tyndall, born in 1981. Neither child was given a royal title, according to Anne's wishes. A surprising decision at the time, but clearly demonstrated her independent and non-reliant personality. Mark and Anne officially divorced in 1992 after many years of rift and rumors of infidelity from Mark. What is special is that despite the breakup, the two still maintained a friendly relationship to raise their children together. Just a few months after her divorce, on 12 December 1992, Anne remarried Vice Admiral Timothy Lawrence, a former Royal Navy officer and former Queen's personal bodyguard. Without fanfare or extravagance, Princess Anne's second wedding took place privately in a small church in Scotland, with only family and close friends in attendance. Notably, this was the first wedding of a British royal to be held in Scotland since the Middle Ages, as the Church of England does not recognize second marriages while the other party is still alive. But Anne's life was not all love. On 20th of March 1974, while returning from a charity event in London, the car carrying Anne and her husband was stopped by an armed man, Ian Ball. In a carefully planned kidnapping, Ball shot dead the driver and two policemen before ordering Anne out of the car, demanding a ransom of up to £2 million. What shocked the public was not only the incident, but also Anne's uncompromising attitude when faced with her captor. Her famous reply, "No way," showed the steely spirit of a royal woman who refused to give in. Later, thanks to the intervention of brave passers-by and the police, Anne escaped the kidnapping unharmed. The next day, she appeared in public, continuing her normal work schedule. For many, it was the first time they realized Anne was more than just a princess. She was a symbol of royal courage and bravery. As many royals turn 70, they begin to withdraw from public life. But not Anne. In fact, she has been called the most hardworking royal, with more than 400 official appearances a year, far outpacing other members, even younger ones. Even in recent years, when the royal family has undergone many changes, from the departure of Prince Harry and Meghan to the death of Queen Elizabeth, Anne has remained a reliable pillar, always appearing at the right time, in the right place, and working tirelessly. In terms of health, Princess Anne has maintained incredible fitness. Although she has suffered a number of minor injuries during her years of horse riding, she has never publicly complained about any illness and has not used her age as an excuse to rest. When asked about her retirement plans in an interview with ITV, Anne's answer was clear: "I'm not sure what retirement means for someone who does this job." It wasn't stubbornness, but a belief that public service is not a job. It's a lifelong responsibility. And so, from her youth until she was nearly 74, Anne was a regular at memorial services, opening ceremonies, community meetings, quietly but indispensable. In a royal world where all eyes are often on glamorous faces or scandals, Princess Anne is like an underground river, steadfast, quiet, but strong. And perhaps that is what makes Anne different. A princess who does not need a crown to be respectable. Princess Anne's life and journey show us that perseverance, dedication, and kindness always have a place in every era. If you love inspiring royal stories like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our next videos. See you on the amazing journeys ahead.